Cast your mind back, and it was quite a while ago, I think it was over a year ago, but there were cars driving around London chanting some of the most anti-Semitic stuff towards the Jews, obviously. And when I saw clips of it that had come out on social media, I was absolutely gobsmacked. Now, some have questioned me as being anti-Semitic and a Holocaust denier, because you've only got to say that I think that all things can be questioned, and I still stand by that, and immediately you're a Holocaust denier. Amazing, really, isn't it? And there are Jewish people that will go around looking to try and drum up anti-Semitism to prove their cause. However, this, which I'm talking about now, is incredibly legitimate anti-Semitism. I'll clear up what I mean there. That is to say that these people that were saying they hated the Jews, that they want to do bad things to them, they want to do bad things to their daughter, and I'm not going to repeat it, were disgusted. They were wrong. And I couldn't believe that anybody could even come out and say that kind of thing, let alone ever expect to get away with it. But then I looked at the people that were doing it, and now I know that there are certain groups that are more protected than others in Great Britain. It's an unfortunate fact, but that's where we are. However, I thought they won't be allowed to get away with this. And it seems that originally 4 men out of the convoy of cars that were driving around shouting out this stuff did get charged, or at least they were pulled in. However, I think it was then reduced to 2 who have interesting names I can't pronounce, and now I believe it's been dropped. The Crown Prosecution Service have said that they don't think that there's sufficient evidence to get a conviction. Really? Are you mental? No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think that the CPS has been instructed to bury this one. Now, this is not the first time it's happened, and it's happened with other cases on other totally different topics. So, but I want to know, why are these people allowed to get away with it? Who is protecting them? Because it was very clear evidence. I mean, London is one of the most cameraed cities in the world, if not the most cameraed city in the world, I believe. And there's a lot of recording devices of all sorts around there, and London's incredibly busy, and the amount of people that came forward with their own camera evidence of these people, verbally they could hear what they were saying, and obviously visually identifying these people, but yet nothing gets done. Now, I find this quite shocking, because there is a thing that, if you were to, say for instance, slag off Jewish people, put them in a bad light, you are more than likely going to get called anti-Semitic. You're not really allowed to question a lot of things, so I found. And certainly questioning anything to do with the Holocaust gets you called a Holocaust denier, because it's unquestionable. Although I believe that everything, and I mean everything, in this world is due to question, because humans make mistakes. So I simply said, back at the time, and this was going back years ago, that though I didn't deny that the Holocaust had happened, I didn't deny that at all. I said that, haven't the figures been revised and revised and revised again? And that being the case, if that is the case, then nothing is set in stone. And anything and everything in this world, for me, is open to question. That got called me, well, I got called a Holocaust denier and an anti-Semite for that. Not that I cared a fuck either, by the way, because they're just names. And the more you see these screeching individuals try and label you with names like that, and a racist and a bigot and all the other things that you get called generally if you speak up, I kind of enjoy it. I do. I like being called those names, because what you actually find out is the people that usually project upon you these names are some of the most incredibly racist and bigoted individuals going. Now, I'm not saying it's any one particular breed, because I get named this by all sorts of people from all denominations, so we're not picking out one in particular there. However, it is what it is. But in this particular case of this group of individuals, who I don't actually know a great deal about, going around saying that they wanted to rape people's daughters and they wanted to see people dead, that ain't acceptable by any way, shape or form. I don't like it. I think it's wrong. And it causes problems, because if these people aren't brought to justice, then what you're going to do is say that it's all right to say that. It's all right to do that, which it isn't. I would be interested to know that, say for instance, if it was, say for instance, a bunch of white guys in that car screaming that crap out, then all of a sudden there'd be plenty of evidence. But I actually believe that the Crown Prosecution Service have been instructed to drop this because of reasons, and I don't know who or what those reasons are. But as I said, with the amount of camera footage and the amount of CCTV and the amount of people coming through with their own videos, there is more than enough evidence. And I can understand why the Jewish group, there's been a group within the Jewish side that have said that they want to see the guys in charge of the Crown Prosecution resign. I can see their anger, but there's been plenty of other things that the Crown Prosecution haven't done or that haven't brought to court, and you weren't that outraged about that. So it's one of those, isn't it, really? However, there it is. And people would think I was mad for even mentioning the Jewish within my video, because they're a group that you can't speak about, but you can. However, I believe there's a lot of very good Jewish people out there, and I believe there's a very small group of Jewish people, like any other group on this planet, that aren't very good. I would be racist and bigoted to say that a Jewish person is not capable of the same ills that any other person is. I would be actually singling them out as a race, saying that they're different, saying that they're not capable of the same human flaws that we are, and of course they are. So I have to say that, don't I? Because if I didn't, I'd be racist. Or xenophobic, or whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. Anyway, there we are. So it's one of those subjects that a lot of people shit themselves and run away from, but I won't. But it is one of those topics that I think you've got to be fair and equal with. So, I, on this particular one, sympathise with the Jewish about this particular crime, and it should be prosecuted. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll speak to you in a bit.